Good day, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very, let's say, very welcome edition of the Great Iron Power After Hours. Wonderful. Today's topics: the impact that your bad choices have in life, among other things. We're going to get started with the NFL, and we already know that before he even this was 2 days after the Titans sent the packet to the Miami Dolphins. They cut him loose, and I bet the question is, why does this surprise anybody? Hey, here's the reason why. Isaiah Wilson is a loose cannon.
Of course he is. Let's count the ways.
He would rather make money while having to work for it. Isaiah Wilson, you get it lucky. There's many people who are in high school who would do a lot of things to be in your shoes. But unlike you, they will rather work hard for it and earn it. You think just because you got drafted, you think it's automatically going to give it to you? It doesn't work that way, buddy boy. Sorry to tell you that. You got to compete with other people for that spot. That means you got to...
Let's back up a bit, though. Because I think we all saw this coming.
Mm-hmm.
A dude that couldn't even bust a nut to get on the field. Okay?
Let me hold you there right there. He did get on the field just once, and that was it.
But that was basically warm-ups.
Yeah. No, it was during the season.
We're talking about...
It was during the season.
Actual game.
Yeah, it was during the game. It was during the game opener against the Broncos. He was on the field, and nobody saw him after that. He played.
And by the way, not in a game setting, in warm-ups. And every week the camera panned Isaiah Wilson on the bench in warm-ups.
And here's why he broke the rules.
You tell me the last draft pick that you know of that gets drafted by a team and can't even bust a grade to make it on the field.
That would have to be Jadeveon Clowney.
I don't even remember. I couldn't even put Jadeveon Clowney on that mix because at least after having his little 11-time injuries, at least he was able to get on the field.
True. Isaiah Wilson, let me count the ways of why this was a bust to begin with. I mean, you drafted him out of Georgia his junior year.
No snaps, no blocks, nothing.
You drafted him. He forgo his senior year to be in the draft, and he won't put forth the effort to prove that he deserves to be there. The Titans made a good decision to cut him loose. But here's a little kicker, though, folks. Here's the kicker that what got him sent to Miami in the first place. It's what happened this past January. 2 days after what happened at the Capitol. According to police reports from the Tennessee Highway Patrol, he was driving his car at 123 miles an hour going through the ATL. The police pursued him in a high-speed chase while his car was pushed at 123 in a 55-mile-an-hour zone. He was going way over the speed limit. Then he pushed it to 140. The police backed off because there was an ICE sting going on, and ICE agents busted him. After he'd only exceeded 140 miles an hour, he swerved and crashed. ICE agents had their guns pointed at him. And when they put the cuffs on him and his companion, searching his car, they found a grinder with a little bit of marijuana in it, and his companion had acid on her.
And the Titans make a trade and get the 7th-round pick for him. And then 3 days later, folks,
after the Dolphins signed him, they kicked him to the curb because he did not show up to workouts.
He didn't show up to workouts. He didn't show up for when the team gave him an opportunity to go get help for his mental issues.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, at some point, the Dolphins are like, you know what? Screw this. We're just gonna cut you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what they did. Meanwhile, back at the ranch called the National Football League,
The 49ers and the Dolphins are playing musical chairs and prom dates with the draft pick.
No. You missed one. 49ers, Dolphins, and
Eagles.
This was a 3-team dance-a-thon.
Oh, wait.
Draft picks.
Before we get to that, you're not going to believe this, folks.
No. Before we get to what you're getting to, let me go back to the stupid news I heard during this week out of that good old state of Georgia.
Oh, boy. And we already know where this is going. Because even this makes me sick to my stomach.
They have officially signed stupid laws that once again rear their ugly head about voter suppression, everybody. And now, in their little law packet, they are making it illegal for folks to give the folks that are standing in line for a long period of time food or water.
Yep.
What a load of crock.
Oh, speaking of load of crock, let's go all the way to Arkansas. Now, Arkansas is now added to the list of a no-fly list.
But let's go back to what becomes. Story I heard about 7:30. The Major League Baseball Players Association, everybody, they are really considering moving the MLB All-Star Game from Horizon Park, from Truist Park in Cobb County to elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the voter laws that were put in. The state of Georgia, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
And speaking of being ashamed of themselves, there's another state that has to be ashamed of themselves, and that'd be Arkansas. Because as of today, they put into law the bans trans women and girls from playing the sports of the gender they identify with. And as a result, this is going to hit, and according to news reports, this is going to hit them financially. You know why, folks? Because of that, government employees are no longer allowed to fly to the state of California or the city of San Francisco. Because of this, they got themselves put on the no-fly list along with Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Ohio, Kentucky, and of course, good old volunteer state, Tennessee.
Wow. So because somebody does not gender themselves as a male or a female, they can't fly.
Not necessarily. This is going to affect athletes who are playing collegiate games at a state. This affects also the government employees who have contracts in other states, including California. This is why they're put on a no-fly list. Thank you, and we can thank Bill Lee for becoming a part of this. Thank you, Bill Lee. You basically royally don't ruin the reputation of the volunteer state because you signed this pathetic law. Thank you for being a humongous jacket.
Hold on. Who put this law into play? We got to go back a little bit. Who was the dim-witted regime that put this BS in play?
Oh, that'll be the state of Ohio.
But back up, though. At that time, who was the president?
Oh, boy.
The man's name we shall not speak up on this podcast ever again.
That orange goon.
That orange-haired cowlick. Blank. So many words that I love to say, but this is the name of the podcast, so we'll keep it clean.
Yeah.
For now.
But here's some good side on the NFL. The Ravens got themselves a good old wide receiver from former Kansas City Chiefs star Sammy Watkins for a full year.
A guy who can't, basically what we got here, we got a bucket of balls and a guy that can't stay healthy because of his big knees. Baltimore. Well done, Baltimore. Well done. Continue being stupid. Well done.
Yeah. And in other words, the Jets found themselves a brand new quarterback, and he outshined himself during the combine, and his name is Zach Wilson of BYU.
Keyword is if they take him.
Yeah, but Sam Darnold's already gone. But Sam Darnold's gone already.
There are two options on the board for the Jets: Dak Wilson or Justin Fields. Those are the two that are on the board. And now I'm hearing Matt Jones could be in play.
Yep.
Dolphins. I really hope New England gets a decent quarterback instead of Skinner. My God. Go ahead and get the future of this franchise and this guy as a stopgap, please. New England did in the offseason with their free agency, though. But I still like the fact that they have a scheming pile as a quarterback.
Yeah. And before
I have never been a fan.
We got more football coming at your way, but I want to get into the NCAA March Madness bracket. That's a Cinderella story involving a school called Oral Roberts University.
Well, there's actually, let me see. We actually have 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 5 Cinderella stories. Well, one that's trying to do the same song and dance again as the 8. UCLA, who's a blue blood, but they haven't been in the tournament in a minute. So they're kind of a Cinderella story.
But the true Cinderella story happens to be the Oral Roberts University basketball team. But right now, somebody's trying to decide their fate that they should be banned from the tournament.
Who is the
The
idiot?
NCAA themselves.
Why?
It can't be their school's name is Oral Roberts University. So that ain't it.
Hold on. So NCAA, what you're basically telling me is, if you put Oral Roberts banned for the tournament, is that the reason why you didn't put Belmont in?
No, they're trying to ban Oral Roberts because of something else entirely. And it happens to be a xenophobic, homophobic reason.
Oh no.
Yeah, that reason.
But now we may have to explain to the people what you mean. Because I don't know if a lot of people really understand what we're getting at here.
Okay, folks. Now follow me along. You guys have been watching March Madness since March the 8th, right?
Of course we have. We're already at March 26th.
Mm-hmm. Oral Roberts University is the Cinderella team that came in at the number 15 seed. And about yesterday, they played it yesterday and won.
No, wait a minute. Oh, wait, no. Oral Roberts opened the tournament last Friday. They played Ohio State.
Yeah, and they beat Ohio State.
And then they turned right around after Florida decided to slow the game down and try to take the air out of the ball and play defense with Florida's offense. And basically because of Florida's stupidity, Oral Roberts wins again. And now their reward on Saturday is a date at 6:20 or whatever I think that time is.
Against Arizona State Wildcats.
No, it's Arkansas.
Oh, you're right, Arkansas State.
No, just Arkansas. It's a 7-3. Oral Roberts, it's a 3:15.
Yeah.
Arkansas and Oral Roberts. To follow, before that game at about 2:10 or so, Florida State and Michigan. And before that, will be Sister G at 104 years of age. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
The 8th seed of Oral Roberts. The 8th seed of the Chicago Ramblers.
Yeah, but their name is actually a good name. They're the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles.
Yeah, they are the Golden Eagles. You got one of the two Cinderellas in the Midwest bracket is going to be knocked out. Either it's going to be the 8th seed Ramblers of Loyola Chicago or the Oregon State Beavers. in an 8-12 game. And that's the very first game of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, out worst, the number 1 overall seed and still perfect, Gonzaga, the Dogs.
Them zag.
Will try to knock out a whole bunch of birds of prey, aka Angry Birds of Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
That will be, I think, at 210 or 240.
Yeah. Yeah, but apparently the NCAA is not getting their wish. Oral Roberts came to play, and that Oral Roberts is going to be here to stay.
They are in the Sweet 16, children.
Mm-hmm. The men's Golden Eagles basketball team.
They've proven their worth.
Yep.
Now, the game of the day tomorrow on the women's side is going to be a dandy. Top seed UConn and the 5 seed Iowa in the Riverwalk at noon tomorrow afternoon on ESPN. First game of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Which should be, it's going to be a, oh my lord, type of affair. I mean, that thing is getting so much media hype, it's sad.
Now here's a real reason why. There is a real reason why NCAA wants Oral Roberts gone. It wasn't an NCAA. It wasn't a collegiate reason. This is a political reason.
Okay.
And it happened to be the Equality Act.
The what act?
The Equality Act.
Wait.
Apparently the Senate tried to have the team removed from NCAA competition over the Equality Act.
Are we talking about the Title IX thing?
The Equality Act, yes.
Well, wait a minute. Don't they have women's sports in Oral Roberts?
Yeah, but it's something else entirely. It's transgender, too. It was part of that act that wanted to say the law would just keep the homophobes from harming the rights of the LGBTQIA people, but that's neither accurate or honest.
That doesn't.
Yeah. That's the reason why the Senate was the one who went to the NCAA to try to get them out.
Well, if they did, who would go in? Would they have forfeited the game to Florida?
Don't know.
Forfeited the game to Ohio State? And had Florida, Ohio State the second round?
And apparently, here's something else. It also calling me that anyone who holds what is now a minority view on marriage and sexuality will face a new tolerance, which is close as they were reminded of a couple of days ago. Catholics and still includes evangelicals, Mormons, Muslims, and many other people. This is not only a sexual origin. This is not just the LGBTQIA thing. They making it a religious thing too.
Folks, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. God picked no favorites, okay? Let's just call it what it is.
God loves everybody.
Idiots being idiots.
We're gonna call them what they are.
Folks, what do I always talk about on this podcast more than once?
You being an asshole.
And you think just because you wear a big suit, shiny rings, you drive a shiny nice Mercedes, that you can do whatever you want when you want.
Speaking of which, the son of the man who we shall not name was told by the state of Nebraska to sit down and shut the fuck up.
So here's my suggestion for you. I'm going to spell this word out once really slowly. So all you idiotic bigwig morons can understand what we get at. If this is supposed to be the land of the free and home of the brave, here's my suggestion to all you idiots. Sit down, shut your hole, and just be grateful you live in America. Because guess what? If we really wanted to, we were ticked off enough, we could probably deport you to another country and then go walk a mile in their shoes for about a month. Mm-hmm. And then come back to me and whine and complain.
Yep. Now back to our regularly scheduled football and Isaiah Wilson's fall from grace.
Do we have to?
Now, not only would this man refuse to get help, he just wants to get the money without actually having to work for the money.
For it.
If you want to try to do that, nigga, you should got on disability.
All right.
You wasted people's time.
You're wasting the people's time that actually, that supported you.
You let your mama down. You let your brothers down. You let your family down. You let your girlfriend down. You didn't even let your agent down. The agent who went to bat for you.
And the coaches.
And because of this, not only will you be broke, you're going to be owing that agent of yours money until the cows come home.
Well, by the way, the agent could probably just drop him and say, you know what? I don't want your money.
And in the Deshaun Watson saga, he's still got the lawsuits and he just got to deal with it now. But here's the thing, the NFL sets a double standard. When you harping on Deshaun Watson, you should harp on the Seattle Seahawks offensive lineman who almost killed his girlfriend. And you know who I'm talking about.
I think so.
This man beats his girlfriend with almost with an inch of her life, and he almost kills her. But rather than the NFL disciplining him, they gave him a contract extension. Now, what in the Sam Hill, what the fucked up notion was Goodell thinking?
Does this remind you of all of the other crap that we dealt with from 2015 all the way to 2018?
Yep.
It seems like we have not learned yet.
And Goodell, all that preaching about cracking down on domestic abuse, you really missed the ball with this guy.
No, not only did you miss the ball, you dropped the ball. You dropped the ball. In every sense of the word, you dropped the ball. All this, we're going to do this.
Okay.
All this genuflecting and sticking your chest out, pumping your chest out.
All right.
Like you're going to...
Let me give you some example, folks.
Yes.
What do Ray Carew, Ray Rice, this clown, Greg Hardy, let's see, I don't know. Oh yeah, Ray Lewis have in common. They're football players. They have a tendency to hit people, but the only difference is this clown and Greg Hardy got a pass and contract decisions, while the others got blacklisted, blackballed, and shunned. Ray Rice hasn't played ball in years.
He hasn't played since 2018. And the woman that he actually attacked, they are still married.
To this day. And she forgave him. Because it was a one-time mistake and he never did it again. Meanwhile, Greg Hardy and this douchebag, they both got a picture of hitting women over and over again. They still got their jobs. You blacklisted him. And Ray Rice went to jail for attempted murder. At least Ray Lewis paid for his crime. Ray Rice paid for his crime with his career. Meanwhile, you got two idiots who are still wearing football pads playing. What kind of twisted bullshit is that?
How does that work?
It don't, folks. It don't.
Do you just pick and choose? Decide it's blacklisted and who doesn't? If you're really going to put your money where your mouth is, these two should already be out of the league.
Yeah,
There's no excuse for this.
And folks, and this is coming from me, it took Roger Goodell 4 years. 4 years now to finally admit that Colin Kaepernick was right.
Right. No, actually 5.
Yeah.
Because he didn't admit it until this year.
That Colin Kaepernick was right.
In 2020, Roger Goodell was so bent on making an example out of Colin Kaepernick that maybe we should have been listening all along.
Instead, you cost this man his career. You cause people to not only burn his jerseys, call him a traitor to his country. The only traitor to his country is the orange goon that we refuse to name on this podcast. And I'm calling him an orange goon because that's how I see fit.
And by the way, if we dare name that name, we should just go ahead and cut this podcast off now and never have another episode again.
No. Because I refuse to put that baboon's name on this podcast. I refuse to tarnish my reputation. I refuse to tarnish this podcast on account of him.
I refuse to put my reputation up for anybody, okay?
Like the state of Nebraska told his idiotic namesake, sit down and shut the fuck up.
A big old glass of chocolate like up juice.
Because let's face the facts, folks. Like my colleagues said before, the NFL really, really dropped the ball on a lot of things.
This one, they really dropped the ball.
Not only they dropped the ball, they don't drop the bomb and watch it blow up.
And speaking of Washington, let's get to this crap.
Oh, jeez.
Let me get to this Bucktail clown.
Oh, God.
Let me get to this dish rag, douchebag.
Does this happen to do with Dan Snyder wanting to buy the entire team?
AKA glorified waffle irons. You get whacked upside the head with a baseball bat, and his brain and his skull cracked wide open.
And that answer is yes.
By a ton. This man, besides James Dolan, the worst two owners in all of sports when it comes to incompetence, okay? Daniel Snyder wants to buy out all of his owners so he can be the sole voice of the football team. NFL, if you really want to put your money where your mouth is, you step in and you demand him to sell.
Yep.
He shouldn't even deserve to own the football team. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And let me talk about James Dolan, that incompetent douche.
Oh, boy.
A fan was banned early in the week for watching a Knicks game at the Garden. Why? Because he wore a shirt that said "Ban Dolan," and the fan had every right to wear it because not even 5 minutes after the guy was sitting down, security escorted the man out of the arena. And I ain't lying. This man, besides the orange-headed glorified twit
that we refuse to name, because if we both name him, we both gonna get pissed off, and we'll shut this podcast down.
These two are about as worse when it comes to ownership in the National Basketball Association and the National Football League ever.
Yes.
So if I'm the NBA, if I'm Adam Silver, and if I'm Roger Goodell, I am demanding James Dolan and Daniel Snyder to sell. Because right now, these two
Folks,
are running toxic cultures and they're driving fan bases away.
why don't you do like the WNBA did when they made Kelly Loeffler sell her portion of the Atlanta Dream to the former player who she refused to listen?
And I think Renee Montgomery is the first female owner of that team.
Yes, she is. She's the first woman of color to own the Atlanta Dream. She now takes and the two majority owners did what is in business terms called a very hostile takeover. It turns out Kelly Loeffler only owns 49%. The other two own 51%. So by doing a hostile takeover, they forced her to sell. That and the fact that her views does not reflect the views of the WNBA. It does not reflect the views of what they do. Not only was this woman laughed right out of the Senate for trying to impeach Biden on his inauguration, but that lady was a glorified bag of hot fucking air that needed to be taken down a notch and need to be embarrassed.
And I hope and pray if the WNBA ever does come back international, because I miss the WNBA around here. Heck, I miss the arena football league, for God's sakes. Now, those leagues I could actually get behind. Because they were actually entertaining.
The XFL is next to entertaining more than watching grass grow.
Yeah, about as entertaining as the stupid LFL.
Please don't mention that.
Well, I just did.
Every time I hear about that league, the commissioner of that league, that man makes me want to pull my motherfucking teeth out and sell it to a hooker for $50.
Let me simplify this for you. The LFL, James Dolan, that other douchebag that was a racist, the other guy from the Carolina Panthers was also racist. Am I missing anybody?
Richie Incognito?
Oh, that twin.
Yeah, that glorified bag of ass. For the love of God.
For the love of everything normal and
please. Richie Incognito, for the love of God, please retire. Nobody wants to see you anymore. You're a racist, homophobic piece of shit. Now, folks, here's something that you don't know. Richie Incognito was the one that made Michael Sam quit in the first place.
And by the way, I believe he was on the Buffalo Bills playoff team this year.
Oh, God.
If my math is right.
Yeah, he was.
And thank God Buffalo got knocked out by Kansas City. And I'm surprised he wasn't in that fight that night with the Chiefs and the Bills in the fourth quarter.
Oh, wait. Speaking of the Chiefs, it turns out that the 5-year-old girl did survive. Her name is Riley Young, by the way, folks. I brought you this story back in January that involved Indy Reid's own son, Brett, in the car. The car that he was in was the car that he was driving, because he hit the other car where Riley Young was in. Not only was he suspended, but the very next day, the Hunt family fired his ass. Yeah, the Hunt family fired Brett Reid right after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Dear old dad could not save him. The man's 35 years old. He needs to stand on his own 2 feet and take responsibility.
And by the way, we have coaching news that Shaka Smart basically did a nice little switcheroo because Texas wasn't getting it done. So the Atlanta director of Marquette sweet talked him out of Texas back to Wisconsin. As Shaka is now the new bench boss at Marquette, replacing former Manchester player and assistant coach and coach of Marquette, Steve Wojciechowski. And Ron Kruger is also, he retired after a decade. His son Kevin is now the head boss at UNLV.
And for those of you
also hearing for Indiana, that former Indiana University player under the legendary, who's not in good health right now, Bobby Knight, Calvert Cheney. Yes, that Calvert Cheney, who's on the Indiana Pacers coaching staff as an assistant, could have the inside track for that job. And speaking of inside tracks, there could be a Texas-sized swap. Maybe. Chris Beard is peeled. And Chris Beard is on Texas's short shopping list.
And from the gridiron and the hardwood all the way to the iced ring, the NHL decided to get rid of good old Tommy Peel once and for all.
Yes.
Why, you ask? Because while he was refereeing the Predators Red Wings game, while the Preds won that game 4-0, he had a hot mic.
And it was open. And by the way, now let's backtrack a bit, because Tim Peel had missed a call on Victor Arvidsson earlier from one of the Red Wing defenders. I don't know which one it was. But 3 minutes later, they get Arby for a apparent fake dive attempt or whatever Tim Peel was looking for. And on a hot mic,
Said I should have fucking penalized him. I don't care.
I was looking to make a call against Nashville. Folks,
Not only
if I've said this once, I've said it a million times. You never know when your mic is on.
and his was on.
Always pretend that a mic that you're at is hot, even though it may not be on.
Not only did he not notice that his mic was hot and that it was on, but the commissioner of the NHL himself actually heard this. While watching the game, he got fired on the spot and banned from ever refereeing any NHL game now and in the future ever again.
Well, he was going to retire after the season anyway.
True.
Because Tim Peel had already made the announcement he was going to retire anyway.
And now he's going to be blacklisted from being officiating any hockey game in the future, whether it's collegiate or pro.
Well, he's done anyway, because he was already going to make the announcement he was going to retire anyway. So
yeah, he don't speed up his own retirement by doing that.
He already sped it up.
So it's an old saying: open your mouth and insert your own foot. You bite off more than you can chew.
Well, the old adage for broadcasting, or for those that have a hot mic, please be sure and pretend that every mic is hot, because you never know when one's going to be on and it's going to catch you for saying something stupid that you're going to regret later.
Did we even learn anything from the broadcasters before that who, let's just say, don't know when to keep their mouth shut when a mic is on and you're live? There's some things that you can say, but there's a lot of things you can't say on TV. They can be picked up on the airways on the microphone, folks.
Either on TV or radio or anything that has to do with a microphone.
Yes, folks. It goes back to what I said before. Choices and consequences. What you say, how you say it, and when you say it reflects on what's going to happen afterwards, and you got to be prepared for the consequences. Because if you don't, and you open up your mouth, and you write a check that your mouth can't cash, guess what, pal? That's your ass that's in the hot seat. You're screwed.
Ask Tim Peel how that works. And I think on that note, have we covered everything?
I don't think we did. Well, there is something that even like I said, the upcoming NFL draft is a few weeks away. And remember, folks, there was a 3-way dance between the Eagles, the 49ers, and the Dolphins.
Which meant San Francisco got the Dolphins' 3rd pick, which got the 49ers, I believe, that dropped the Dolphins to like 12.
Not necessarily. Apparently, it gave the Dolphins the 1st round draft pick in the 2024 draft.
Yeah, and there was a whole bunch of first rounders being dealt. But for this year's draft, San Fran got the 3rd pick. The Eagles dropped from 6 to 18. And the Dolphins dropped to 12. But they also will keep their 18th pick for this year in the first round. So the Dolphins have 2 picks in the first round.
Yeah. And we also have heard that Mr. Mitch Trubisky is, in fact, a Buffalo Bill.
Yes, he is Buffalo Bill.
Andy Dalton is a bear, a gingerfied bear.
By the way, he left what team? Embarrassed.
And in other news, Adoree Jackson just got himself a big old welcome to the Big Apple.
And let's hope and pray.
As he joins former teammate Logan Ryan on the defensive side of that ball.
And let's hope and pray Adoree can actually play better than that pathetic excuse of the last 4 games. It was an NFL type season.
Yeah.
I guess that knee's feeling much better since he got a big old fat payday.
Mm-hmm. But good old Sammy Watkins, when he signed with the Ravens, they gave him a 1-year, $6 million deal.
A guy that basically has achy knees like Bill Buckner in 1986 when he couldn't throw the freaking ground ball at first base because of his achy knees.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the Red Sox would have beat the Mets. But no. After Buckner had to be 3, the Mets won Game 6 and then flat out destroyed them in Game 7. And that was that.
Yeah.
A flat bomb.
Yep.
So shall we give folks a preview of what we're doing on the Nightmare podcast tomorrow?
All right. And remember, chances are, we're going to give you a glimpse. We're going to break down for you some of the games that we'll be playing on the road and at home. We might give you a little bit of taste of what's to come between those games, especially if we're going to introduce one of our home games as a game of the week, and it will be for a very, very, very good cause.
Well, wait. Oh, so we have a game of the week on the road and a game of the week at home?
No, one of the games is the first game is the game of the week that's on the road. That's the other team's home opener. Our game of the week,
yeah, that's the 4th.
Is week 3.
Is that the?
It's our home opener.
So is that the? Wait a minute. What time is that kickoff? 3 or 4?
3.
And the kickoff's at 4.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I still get a chance to go.
Because I'm being considerate of other teams who have to travel all the way from Mississippi, from Louisiana, Kansas, and Oklahoma to Franklin.
Except for, I don't know, Utah?
Yeah, who puts us at 7?
Yeah, that one's at 7. Did you put the time on the schedule? Did you send me for the Oklahoma game?
Yeah, I put the time in there.
Okay, I haven't embossed the schedule yet.
Yeah. Well, actually, Sean actually posted our schedule on the team's messenger page.
Okay.
Because I sent it out to him.
So
our games is at 3 o'clock. Our home games is at 3.
All home games for us are at 3.
Yeah.
So this would be done by 6.
Yes.
6:30.
So they'd be able to get back on the road and be able to get back home.
And we could all be done before 7 o'clock.
Yes.
I think.
But the Wichita Bandits is the primetime game.
I'm trying to think. Are we going to? Well, let's just close this podcast out now because we're talking official business on the pod, which we don't need to do.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait on that.
Huh?
We'll talk about the afterward. She puts it a little bit. Those things that came to my mind. I'm glad I got them off my chest and then some. Because otherwise, it would have been a very, very pissy day. Oh, never mind. They did charge his ass. And folks, and you might have heard this, but as of 2 days ago, they did charge him. Big time.
Well, folks, this is going to be our one for the road segment. So this will be our last one for today.
Yeah.
So we can try to keep this within a nice time frame.
Yep.
We gotta tighten these up before we start the season. Doing these for 2 hours.
Yep. Yeah, folks. Now I find out with that cause of us getting Kendall Lamb, the Browns got the big headache that we signed a year ago.
Wait.
They got Clowney.
Oh God.
They got him.
The Crabs got.
The Browns got Clowney.
He might. You know what? He might actually do something worth a darn. And it's amazing when Titans players suck with us, they actually do something worth a crap in another spot.
So we got 2 former Steelers and a former Colt. We got Danico Autry.
And Bud
Dupree. River Cafe. And not only do we got Janoris Jenkins, aka the Jackrabbit.
I ain't seen him run that fast since the Andrew Jackson administration actually like to show something.
No. I found his games when he was on YouTube. That boy ran like somebody don't let a match under his ass and put it down his shorts.
Basically, no, it was like he had a hot poker under his butt before he burned up.
Yeah, we can't. But Janoris Jenkins, Jackrabbit, welcome to Tennessee. If you ever listen to this podcast, yeah, we're gonna clown you for it.
Janoris Jenkins wasn't no Jackrabbit on that. He was trying to oh my God, I'm trying to get away from that fucking bird.
Oh, we also got a former Buffalo Bill on our team too.
Oh, we got a Buffalo. Oh.
We got Josh Reynolds.
I actually like Josh Reynolds. Actually, he's an LA Ram, by the way.
Yeah.
I actually like Josh Reynolds. I've always liked Josh Reynolds. He's always been pretty about going good.
Yep.
Right.
This is mainly.
And by the way, Oregon Caps.
Yep.
On snap purposes. Now here's what I wonder: are the Titans going to keep Gostkowski, or are they going to go with Sloman?
They keep Gostkowski. Sloman's been gone already.
Huh?
Sloman was already gone.
Where did Sloman go to?
They cut him after the playoff game. They cut him out the wild card game.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot where he landed though.
Wherever he landed, he can have some fun. Well, wait a minute, take that back. He landed back with the Raiders.
What?
Yep.
Alright, I think on that note, when we start getting to here, start talking about stupid crap. Yeah.
But this is about the stupidest it can get.
When we try not to act much more than we actually are.
Oh, for the love of fuck. I can't believe. Nah. Here's the thing. The Titans, they keeping Kaiser.
Excuse me?
They're keeping Kaiser.
Wait, the Packers you keeping Sean Kaiser?
No, we got Kaiser.
All I gotta say about that is this Sean Kaiser sucks dumb. Please! For the love of Pete!
Look.
One sucky story.
Let's see. We got Daylon Mack.
Daylon, wait.
We could have went with Khalil Mack.
We could have done better with a Mac attack.
With Khalil.
We went from the Big Mac to the smallest of the Mickey D's menu.
We went to a quarter pounder with cheese.
We went from the Big Mac to a steaming pile of trash. God, this Titan team is gonna suck even worse than last year.
Oh yeah. Now I know why. Now I know why we. Now I know who we got him with. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. What?
They get. I know who they replaced Sloman with.
Who?
And got Cassius on free agency.
Tennessee, you need to hurry up and sign him back.
No, we got Tucker McCann.
Who?
We got Tucker fucking McCann.
Oh no, not another twit.
Yeah, we got that one Chinese.
Not another dim-witted douchebag. Ah.
So we lost Ty Smith, Michael Pruitt, Sonoris Perry, Marshall Newhouse. Thank God he's gone.
Well, actually, all the players you're reading off, thank you, Jesus. Read them again.
Ty Smith, Michael Pruitt, Sonoris Percy, Ty Smith,
Goodbye.
Michael Pruitt,
Goodbye.
Sonoris Perry,
Work soft and effort.
Matt Overton, adios.
Thank you, Jesus. Get out of here.
Marshall Newhouse, do not ever pick up a ball again, you big sack of crap.
You big human turnstile Kalu.
Joshua Kalu.
Joshua Kalu was in cahoots. He sucked. Goodbye.
Well, we already seen him go, Daquan Jones.
Well, thank God for that too.
Thank God, and Goskowski's gone too.
Well, you know what? I can't really say Gostowski, thank God he's gone, because due to the fact that man was hurt most of the year.
Dante Foreman.
Bye-bye. Didn't like him anyway. He really didn't do squat when he was on the field most of the time.
Nick Zubnar.
Zoop Riot. Bye-bye.
Yeah. If y'all remember, there was something they said it was a 49 on 49 crime. which means former Colt Denico Autry hit Zumbar. Jamil Douglas.
Goodbye.
Jack Crawford.
Jack, oh, so stupidity.
And I hate to see the next one go because he does the best podcast with Taylor One, busting with the boys.
Well, straight out of Compton.
Yep.
Well, he might still be able to host the podcast, but it would be in a different locale.
Jadeveon Clowney, goodbye.
Jadeveon Clowney, you are the suckiest league.
Goodbye.
Never to be seen again. Twit.
Darren Bates.
Goodbye.
And please comb your nappy hair.
Goodbye. Pathetic excuse for a human.
We got Devin Bellamy.
Bellamy.
Who?
Who?
Davin Bellamy.
Oh, never heard of him.
Let's see. Let me find out who he is. Let's see. The last team he played on was the Houston Texans.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Yeah, we got another Houston Texan.
A guy that probably will not make them. Well, if he does.
Man, I don't know why. I'm more iffy on Compton than Bates because Bates looks like a retard with that hair.
Alright.
But they could have gotten rid of Quisenberry.
Alright.
Well,
I think the After Hours podcast is done.
not necessarily since we started late.
Well, what, 9:30?
Just about. No.
Yeah, we got about 15 more minutes.
Yep.
So let's at least get. Do we want to do the preview of what we have now, or do you want to wait for tomorrow?
We can do the preview tomorrow. Because the thing is, there's some things about the draft that's kind of make most people angry. Well, because this is going to be the first time it's going to be back live.
Well, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of folk in there. Probably not a
No,
whole lot of
no. If last year was any indication.
with everybody on Zoom, folk.
Yeah. Yep. And let me remind you something, folks. The NFL draft is one of the biggest highlights of the NFL career, and many teams can choose.
And by the way, the NFL draft, especially when it comes to fan bases, you gotta love. You got Buffalo Bills fans, New York Giants fans, and every fan base booing Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
We can't beat. Or when the Eagles make their first pick and the fans booing.
or number 254, Mr. Irrelevant.
Or when the New York Jets are on the clock and all you hear is P-E-T-S-S-S. And all I say to that is S-U-C-K subs.
Yep.
And the flat.
Well, since the team, let's face it, the way that it is now, the salary cap is now at $180 million. For the Titans, they had to let go of Malcolm Butler, Kenny Vaccaro, Adoree Jackson, Dennis Kelly. And not to mention, and not.
By the way, what was that I saw in the interview about the decals?
Sean had created some decals that he saw on the video. That's how he did it. I saw the What You Call Bandits decal. It looked pretty good. He's selling them for like.
I saw something and I'm like, oh, right.
Yeah.
Now these decals.
Well, yeah. Since oh no, Corey Davis's career is already going to be over. He's now a Jets. Dude, playing for the Jets? You better have a paper bag to wear your head.
This is almost about as worse as going to Siberia with no clothes on and it's freezing cold.
And you're gonna freeze your cojones.
This career is
talk about shrinkage and going into retreat. Don't be pressing your Kegel exercise, folks. Now that kind of reminds me of a movie that I have seen. It's got a funny name, a really, really funny name. And trust me, you'll laugh why, because I'm going to give you a line from this one. Oh, you left the window open. Wow, but no, I didn't. Oh, shit. You left the window open? How am I supposed to know they were coming in? Why should I close it? You didn't think that she would notice that the window was open? Why did you shut up? Why the hell my ass so greasy? Well, because you're Mexican, boo-boo. And the reason why I say that, because the analogy he gave was standing in Siberia with no clothes on, with shrinkage going on. It reminded me of that stupid movie that I've seen, and I looked at it so many times that it's too hilarious. And it's called TikTok Trannies with Knives. Yeah, because you will become a Mexican, boo-boo. And not because your butt is so greasy, because you're about to lose your manhood, honey.
And your man card has been revoked at the door.
Goodbye. You're not got a coin purse.
Yeah, dude, you're slapping that shit. Shut up, don't do that. Shut up.
La.
Seriously. How stupid must one 1B.
Well, no. Stupid would be wearing a bathing suit and some freezing weather and they jump into a freezing lake in a polar bear plunge.
And then somebody puts a big old honking red sign on his back that says, I am slack nuts.
I suck a big old pile of donkey nuts.
I am donkey nuts and I suck.
I am a jackass and this is like, I am a jackass and that's okay. You kind of stupid anyway. Jeez Louise. He better, and like I said, when the Titans got Bud Dupree, he better be worth every penny that the Titans is paying him for. Because his contract is the biggest in Titans history. $85 million. $35 million guaranteed. And Danico Archer is taking 3 years for $21.5 million. With $9 million guaranteed. And that's a little smart move on Danico's behalf because that got an A. And Jenkins and Johnson's terms are unknown and not disclosed yet. So we don't know how long they're going to play for, what the amount of money they're going to get given.
You think we covered everything? Or you think we covered everything on this pod?
Yeah, well, except when Morgan Cox is getting paid way less than everybody else.
Well, because Morgan Cox, all he's doing is one thing and one thing only. Snapping the football.
Yeah, but guess how much the Titans is paying him for?
Veteran minimum?
Just how minimal?
$750,000?
Not even close.
$1 million?
Lower, less than that.
$500,000?
A little more than that.
$300,000?
A little more than that.
$325,000?
No. Try $887,500.
What?
Yeah. $887,500.
Basically, he's getting paid barely above the veteran minimum.
Yeah. And plus, Cox is a homegrown Tennessean.
Dang, old Robinson. You got bargain basement, didn't you? Oh my God.
Yeah, he already had bargain basement since we had Avery Williamson. Avery Williamson's from Milan, Tennessee. We had homegrown boys on the team.
Better than what we had earlier. All right, I don't want to leave about 5 minutes or 5 minutes from going for a full hour, but I think good enough for the day.
Yep.
So
folks, tomorrow's pod. Well, like I said, we're going to give you some good news, bad news of women's football leagues from around the country. Everything from the WFA to LFL. Ugh. Now, hearing that, it makes me sound like a character from Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. No, I'm talking about Where in Time. I'm talking about Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego.
I wasn't a big fan of Where in Time, though. I just
because when I would make that, I sound like Medea. Jesus Christ. That girl's gonna get on my nerves. That was my niece calling. I'm gonna have to take this. I'm taking the show on the road. I'm gonna be in Clarksville.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
I'm going to be in Clarksville. We're celebrating Easter very early.
it is April 4th.
No, it's the fourth weekend in April. It's not even April yet.
Well, it will be this coming Thursday.
Yeah. The only reason why we're celebrating Easter really, really early is because my sister has to work that Easter. And thank God I don't. It was bad enough for me to work on Black Friday. Oh, Lordy. I don't want to think about that anymore. Although personally, folks, this is just off the topic here. Me working at a retail store, I get crazy phone calls all the time. So why out of the blue was somebody calling me on a Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, to tell me that the Thanksgiving parade sucks donkey nuts?
Like, dude, unless you DVR'd that thing.
No, this person calls the store and it asks me, who can I talk to about the Thanksgiving Day parade? Because it sucked and it was an embarrassment and that we should pray for ourselves.
Well, I hate to be very bad news. When Thanksgiving Day parade was taking place, it was basically a year unlike no other. It wasn't going to be the same as it has been in the past.
And quite frankly, lady, if you want to talk to somebody about the Thanksgiving Day parade, you got to call the corporate headquarters in the NYC. This is Tennessee. Not the NYC.
Yeah, folks.
We don't handle the Thanksgiving Day parade. We're just a store. Tori, my niece is getting on my nerves. Yeah, this is like deciding. That's the reason why I didn't watch it last year. I was at my brother's house. Folks, I didn't watch the Thanksgiving parade last year. I was at my brother's house, and I haven't watched that thing God knows how long. I didn't see it at all. I didn't even see it last year because I knew it was going to suck. I knew it was going to suck.
Well, keep in mind, Josh, we're still dealing with a year unlike no other.
True. What we're doing.
So that's why it sucked.
Yeah.
So there's nothing we can really complain about.
Except when some of the customer says we have to pray. I'm going to pray for you. I was like, okay. After she hung on, I said, what the hell? What in the simple hell? What's that woman drinking on? Then come to find out that she did call them first before they called the store. And nobody answered the damn phone. Maybe because they were at home.
Oh, boy.
So why on earth are you calling a store in Tennessee instead of corporate headquarters in the NYC with this bullshit? That's a bunch of bullshit. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's under Bushel. All right, kids.
That's all for the Ground Power After Hours. Join us next time.
Until we start seeing news from tomorrow, Sunday. Basically all the way until Friday. This is going to be probably enough news. Oh, I don't know. That will get us riled up for Friday.
Yeah.
There will be enough of that.
So
until then,
we're gonna mask up, sanitize your hands, until you can wash your hands. Maintain social distancing. Don't be an idiot, and please get that shot because it's for your own protection as well as everybody else's.
And I will be keeping mine relatively soon. Thank you for asking.
As will I, because I don't know about you non-believers who still think that this is a freaking hoax. Wake up and smell the coffee. This shit got real. Over 500,000 people had died in you know whose presidency. Only 100,000 died in Biden's presidency. And he got 100 million people already vaccinated within 60 days.
Thank you.
And thank to all that voted for this man. He's delivering on a promise. And he's kept that promise.
Around here, we'll be getting vaccination so we can be protected from COVID as well.
Yeah, and right now the state of Florida just lifted their mask mandate.
Now, those folks get vaccinated yet?
That much I don't know. All I know is a friend of mine who lives in Florida.
If these states can start lifting those mask mandates, right, everybody before they take their masks off are vaccinated.
Yeah.
Because if they're not, we're going to be right back where we were. Don't need that.
Yes. I couldn't. My lift never got here. Oh, yeah, I gotta go get cigarettes from my mother. Yeah.
So you're having problems with lifts?
Huh? Yeah.
You're having problems with lift too?
Yeah, they're very limited. Because I scheduled one earlier at around 6 something. Yeah, at around 6:57. And I've been home from work about 3 hours. Yes, Mom, I'm doing it again. Oh, God.
Okay, where are we going?
Gotta go get cigarettes from my mother.
Hopefully you stop the podcast.
Yeah. Sure.
So do we have more inside information for the previews of tomorrow for our season schedule?
The only thing I'm going to do is basically oh boy. This is going to be nuts. And hopefully I'll be able to get a ride. Which I'm about to. Because they had to give me back the $7 that I took off my card to try to get a ride in the first place. And this is not the first time. So until then, folks, goodbye, good night, and we'll see you next time.
Next week.